In a recent interview with Seconds Out, Tyson Fury became an advocate for Demetrius Andrade randomly. I've never heard him talk about Andrade before. I'm not saying he hasn't. I'm just saying I've never heard personally him talk about Andrade before. But in this interview, he was saying that fighters have been ducking Andrade for years and he deserves an opportunity, etc., etc. Now, the reason I find this so ironic is because there was some pathological Fury fanboy who was ridiculing Demetrius Andrade in a conversation that I had with him a few weeks ago, ridiculing Andrade, saying that he was in the witness protection program, accusing Andrade of being a serial ducker. And then, incredibly, he went on to defend Tyson Fury for literally everything Tyson Fury's ever done, every single indiscretion, including avoiding several fights over the years. This is what the guy did without blinking an eye. I mean, the irony was completely lost on him. Now, my stance on Demetrius Andrade, when he was criticizing him and giving him absolutely no leeway whatsoever, is yes, Andrade has ducked certain fights, but people have also avoided him. So when the guy says Andrade's in the witness protection program and he's not trying to fight anyone good, that's not true. Andrade's been trying to fight Canelo Alvarez, he's been trying to fight Gennady Golovkin, he's been trying to fight at least one of the Charlos. And yeah, there was a point early on in Demetrius Andrade's career when he was champion at 154 and he was offered the Charlo fight and turned it down. The reason he turned it down is because he was offered, I think, 150 grand. Don't quote me on the exact figure, but it was a very small amount. And Charlo was actually going to be paid double. It might have been 250 grand. And Charlo was going to be paid double as the challenger. And Andrade said, nah, you're not going to pay me such a little amount when I'm champion and he's challenger. That's crazy. And so I said, it's understandable that he would turn it down. Whereas the Fury fanboy was saying, oh no, you see, this proves he's a duck. He should have taken the fight. It would have given him a good opportunity and blah, this, that, and the other. Normally, it's the other way around. Normally, when somebody wants a shot at a title, they're willing to take the short end of the stick. And in order to entice the champion, they pay them a load of money. An example would be Anthony Joshua when he fought Charles Martin. Anthony Joshua was a way bigger draw than Charles Martin. But because they wanted that title shot for AJ so badly, AJ was willing to take the short end of the stick in terms of the split to get the opportunity. So if Charlo's people had done that with Andrade, I'm sure that Charlo would have got the shot at Andrade's belt. But again, the Fury fanboy can't see it this way. The bias is too deeply ingrained. He literally can't see past his own bias. So it's so ironic seeing Tyson Fury coming out and bigging Andrade up and saying that Andrade's been avoided after this Fury fan was saying the exact opposite a few weeks ago. The guy's probably short-circuiting his brain now. Having a mental meltdown. This does not compute. So these people are like, bro. But to expand further on Andrade from my perspective, I think Andrade has definitely made some poor decisions. I think there are certain opportunities that he maybe should have taken. And I know one of the most recent opportunities was when he turned down a fight in the UK in a final eliminator against Zach Parker. He said it wasn't enough money. At some stage, you have to take, particularly when you're in your 30s now, Andrade's, I think, in his mid-30s, you're going to have to take the short end of the stick at some point, just to get yourself in a position where you can fight against somebody more significant. Maybe when you're younger and you've got a bit more time, you're in a better position to turn certain things down if the business ain't right. But as you get up there in age, you're going to need to actually bite the bullet, even if you feel like it's not right and it's not fair. And the way I see it right now is similar to the way Eddie Hearn sees it for Andrade. I think that his time has come and gone. I don't think that Andrade is the fighter that he once was. And I suspect that he knows it himself, especially after that Liam Williams fight where he got hurt several times. So I suspect he's just looking for the biggest check that he can get before bowing out of boxing. He doesn't want to fight the Aleem Kanulis of the world and all these very good fighters who don't bring a lot of money to the table. The way that Andrade's career has turned out has been disappointing. I think he had unfulfilled talent, and part of it is down to his own poor decisions. But I do think there's also a large element of bad luck there as well. You have to get the rub of the green to some extent in boxing and in life. There are going to be some people who, through virtue of the fact that they were born in a certain part of the world, are going to do better than people in other parts of the world who are just as hardworking, maybe more intelligent, more motivated. You see, but because they're born in the wrong country, they're not going to be as successful. And that's on, let's say, the macrocosm level. You take it down to the microcosm in something like boxing, same situation. Certain fighters are going to get better opportunities because they're in the right place at the right time, in the right division, with the right promoter. You see, it just didn't work out well for Demetrius Andrade. He never got to really fulfill his potential, in my view. And now he just looks like an old guy running around desperate for just one big payday so he can sail off into the sunset. That's my perspective. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Are you sick and tired of the mainstream mindset? Does the dogmatic conformity and pathological ignorance have you tearing your hair out in frustration? Then don't be alone. Come and join our brotherhood on Patreon. We stand as a beacon of reason against an army of insanity. You'll gain access to my weekly topical podcast where we take more deep dives than Jacques Cousteau on an endless variety of subjects. There's also videos, interviews, live Q&As, as well as a vast back catalogue of previous episodes, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen via the Patreon app or download in high-quality MP3. Connect with myself and hundreds of other members in our Element chat group. There's no contract, no commitment, you can cancel at any time, and it's cheaper than a Mickey D's McMuffin. Just head to my Patreon page via the link below this video and select the tier called the Brotherhood of Reason. I'll see you over there.